Crowds of the curious are held back at a respectful distance from the private funeral that Joe DiMaggio and others arranged for Marilyn Monroe.
Hollywood gave us legends, but it also took them far too soon. From icons like Jean Harlow and James Dean to Marilyn Monroe and Bruce Lee, their stories shine bright but end in tragedy. Today, we remember the stars who left the stage long before their time.
But I am involved! We are all involved! Mom, a kid was killed tonight.
1. Jean Harlow. At the height of her fame, Jean Harlow was one of Hollywood's brightest leading ladies. In the late 1920s and 1930s, she starred in dozens of films, often alongside the biggest names of the era. Over the years, she kept refining her craft, moving beyond the playful image that first made her famous and showing audiences she had far more depth as an actress. Sadly, no one would ever know just how far her talent might have taken her. In 1937, Harlow's life came to a sudden and heartbreaking end. She was only 26 years old when her health rapidly declined after a series of earlier struggles. At first, doctors thought she was recovering, but within days her condition worsened, and she passed away in a Los Angeles hospital. The official explanation was kidney failure, an illness that medicine at the time was not equipped to treat. Her untimely death shocked Hollywood and left fans mourning a star who had only begun to show what she was truly capable of. 2. Junior Durkin. Junior Durkin was one of Hollywood's promising young faces in the early 1930s. Though his career included only about 10 films, he became well known for playing Huckleberry Finn in the 1930 adaptation of Tom Sawyer and again in Huckleberry Finn the following year. In those movies, he starred alongside Jackie Coogan, famous from Charlie Chaplin's The Kid. Off-screen, the two became close friends. While Coogan later reinvented himself and went on to a long career, eventually becoming a household name again in the 1960s as Uncle Fester on The Addams Family, Durkin never had the same chance. By 1935, at just 19 years old, he was beginning to rebrand himself as Trent Durkin, dropping the junior from his name, possibly signaling a new phase in his career. Unfortunately, his journey was cut short that same year. On May 4th, 1935, Durkin was traveling with Jackie Coogan, Coogan's father, and a few others, when their car swerved to avoid another vehicle. The car went off the road and crashed. Tragically, Durkin lost his life in the accident, and Jackie Coogan was the only one to survive. It was a heartbreaking end for a young actor whose career was just beginning. 3. Judy Garland. Judy Garland's name will forever be linked with one of the most magical roles in film history, Dorothy Gale in The Wizard of Oz. That performance alone made her a legend, but Garland's career didn't stop there. She went on to prove herself as a versatile and powerful actress, earning 2 Academy Award nominations for A Star is Born in 1955 and Judgment at Nuremberg in 1962. Beyond acting, she was also a successful singer, captivating audiences around the world with her unforgettable voice. But while her career sparkled, her personal life was often stormy. She battled health struggles and the enormous pressures of fame, which made her journey both inspiring and heartbreaking. On June 22, 1969, Garland's life ended suddenly in London. She was only 47 years old. Despite all the ups and downs, Judy Garland remained deeply loved. The proof came when around 20,000 fans attended her funeral, showing just how much she meant to people across generations. To this day, her legacy as one of Hollywood's most extraordinary talents continues to shine. 4. Lon Chaney. Lon Chaney may not have been instantly recognizable without his makeup, but his work behind the mask made him one of the most unforgettable actors of the silent era. Known as a true pioneer of special effects makeup, Chaney transformed himself into haunting and powerful characters in films like The Hunchback of Notre Dame, 1923, and The Phantom of the Opera, 1925. What made him remarkable, though, was that his talent went far beyond costumes and prosthetics. Even without the elaborate disguises, Chaney had the ability to captivate audiences with pure performance. For movie lovers, he earned the fitting nickname, the Man of 1,000 Faces. His creativity and dedication made him a legend of 1920s cinema. Sadly, his story was cut short. On August 26, 1930, Lon Chaney passed away at the age of 47, right in what many believe to be the peak of his career. Though his life ended too soon, his impact on film has never faded. He is still celebrated as one of Hollywood's most innovative stars. His legacy even lived on through his son, Lon Chaney Jr., who went on to play iconic monsters like the Wolfman, Frankenstein's creature, and the Mummy. Together, the Chaney name became forever linked with classic horror and movie history. 5. Lupe Velez. Lupe Velez may not be a household name today, but in her time she was a true Hollywood star. Over the course of her career, she appeared in 45 films, earned her own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and was often in the headlines for her high-profile romances with stars like Gary Cooper and Tarzan actor Johnny Weissmuller. Originally from Mexico, Velez began as a dancer before moving to California, where she quickly transitioned into acting. She became known for her fiery personality on screen, but off-screen, she was also admired for being approachable and down-to-earth, often spending time with the film crews instead of isolating herself, like many celebrities of the era. Still, her path in Hollywood wasn't easy. As one of the very few Latina actresses working in the industry at the time, she was often typecast into limited roles. Her most famous appearances came in the Mexican Spitfire series, starting with The Girl from Mexico in 1939, where she was frequently portrayed in stereotypical ways rather than given the chance to explore her full range as a performer. Tragically, Velez's life ended far too early. On December 14, 1944, she passed away at just 36 years old. Her death was surrounded by rumors and later even sensationalized by false stories. But what remains most important is the legacy she left behind. Lupe Velez broke barriers in a Hollywood that wasn't always welcoming, and she's remembered today as one of the earliest Latina stars to make her mark on the silver screen. 6. James Dean. James Dean remains one of Hollywood's most iconic figures, a symbol of talent and promise cut tragically short. At just 24 years old, he had already captured the public's imagination with his breakout role in East of Eden, quickly becoming one of the most talked-about young actors in the industry. He would go on to star in Rebel Without a Cause and Giant, films that cemented his legend and earned him posthumous Academy Award nominations. Off the screen, Dean was passionate about cars and racing, a hobby that reflected his love for speed and adventure. Unfortunately, it was during one of these racing trips in his Porsche 550 Spyder, nicknamed Little Bastard, that his life came to an untimely end. The car collided with another vehicle, and Dean did not survive the crash, while his passenger walked away with injuries. Though his career was brief, James Dean's impact on Hollywood and popular culture has been lasting. His rebellious image, magnetic screen presence, and untimely death have contributed to the enduring fascination with his life, making him a true legend of the silver screen. Even today, stories about Little Bastard and Dean's legendary persona continue to capture the imagination of fans around the world. 7. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe's life and career remain among the most talked about in old Hollywood history. She had the kind of star power that could light up any screen, and her final full-length movie, The Misfits, in 1961, still stands as one of her finest performances. Monroe's combination of charisma, talent, and vulnerability made her an unforgettable figure, earning her numerous awards and nominations over the years. She wasn't just a pretty face. She was a genuine movie star whose presence and performances left a lasting mark on cinema. Tragically, her life came to an untimely end on August 5, 1962, when she passed away at the age of 36. The circumstances of her death added to the public's fascination, as she had been living a somewhat private and secluded life in the months leading up to it. The shock of her passing reverberated across Hollywood and around the world, leaving fans mourning a bright star who had so much more to give. Monroe's story was full of contrasts. She rose from a challenging childhood in foster homes to become one of the most recognized and beloved stars in the world. Along the way, she faced personal struggles, including difficult relationships and battles with mental health and addiction. These challenges made her story deeply human, even as her public image was that of an idealized star. Over the decades, her dramatic life, high-profile career, and premature death have sparked countless discussions, biographies, and speculations, cementing her status as one of the most legendary and enduring figures of Hollywood's golden age. 8. Rudolph Valentino. Rudolph Valentino was one of the brightest stars of early Hollywood, a true icon whose charisma and screen presence earned him the title of the ultimate sex symbol of his time. He was known as the Great Lover and the Latin Lover, and audiences couldn't get enough of him. His fame was intense, his star burned brightly, and yet, tragically, his life and career were cut shockingly short. Valentino's path to stardom was far from ordinary. He started out working as a gardener and later as a dance partner for wealthy women in a prominent New York nightclub. A scandal eventually prompted him to move to Los Angeles, where he sought a fresh start in the film industry. His big break came with the 1921 movie The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and from there he appeared in multiple films almost every year, captivating audiences with his charm, good looks, and undeniable magnetism. Sadly, Valentino's life ended far too soon. On August 23, 1926, at just 31 years old, he passed away due to complications from a ruptured ulcer that led to serious infection. His death shocked fans across the world. The public reaction was extraordinary. People were devastated, with some even reportedly falling into deep despair or harming themselves out of grief. Estimates suggest that as many as 100,000 people attended his funeral, a testament to the enormous impact he had on the hearts of moviegoers. Valentino's legend only grew after his death, cementing his place as one of Hollywood's most enduring icons. 9. Carole Lombard. Carole Lombard was one of early Hollywood's brightest comedy stars, known for her sparkling charm and quick wit. She earned an Academy Award nomination for her role in My Man Godfrey, 1936, and quickly became a beloved figure both on and off screen. Married to Clark Gable, she was part of one of Tinseltown's most famous couples, capturing the attention of fans across the country. Tragically, Lombard's life and career were cut short on January 16, 1942. At just 33 years old, she and her mother were on a flight returning to Los Angeles when the plane crashed near Las Vegas. The journey had taken an unexpected turn. Lombard had been traveling the country to sell war bonds after Pearl Harbor and had originally planned a longer trip. Following a successful event in Indiana, she decided to surprise her husband by returning early. Choosing the first available flight, she and her mother boarded TWA Flight 3, not knowing that it would end in disaster. During the last leg of the journey from Las Vegas to Los Angeles, the plane went off course and tragically crashed into a mountain in the darkness. There were no survivors. The aftermath was devastating. When representatives from her studio arrived, there was almost nothing left to recover, a stark reminder of how sudden and tragic her passing had been. Carole Lombard's vibrant personality and brilliant career continued to be remembered, even as her life ended far too soon. 10. Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is a perfect example of a star whose life and career ended at the very height of fame. He was already a rising global icon when he tragically passed away at just 32 years old, only a month before his Hollywood breakthrough film Enter the Dragon would be released. That movie went on to make him an international superstar, a level of fame he never got to fully enjoy in life. Lee's death on July 20, 1973, shocked fans around the world and sparked intense curiosity about the circumstances. The exact reasons behind his sudden passing have remained a topic of debate for decades, giving rise to countless theories and discussions. Over time, his life and untimely death have become the foundation of many stories, biographies, and legends, some of which blend fact with speculation. Even after his passing, Bruce Lee's influence continued to grow. Fans and fellow martial artists celebrated his groundbreaking approach to martial arts and film, and his charisma, skill, and philosophy left a lasting legacy that goes far beyond the screen. Today, Bruce Lee is remembered not only as a martial arts icon, but as a symbol of talent, determination, and the global reach of cinema. These stars may be gone, but their legacies will never fade. Which of these Hollywood legends touched your heart the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you love exploring the golden age of cinema, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and join us next time for more untold stories of old Hollywood.